God's chosen ones. God wants you to stay silent. Do not speak a single word, chosen one. Can you hear it tonight? As everything grows quiet around you, destiny is knocking on the door of your heart. Do you hear the bell echoing in that still night? This is no accident. It is a sign sent to you alone by God. Everything is shifting, and there is only one thing you must do right now. Be silent. Do not speak, do not explain, do not react. Because silence is the most powerful weapon God has placed in your hands. Your worries, your confusion, even your fear. God sees them all. But if you listen closely, a glimmer of hope is flickering, a sacred sign is coming meant only for you. Tonight, everything will change if you have the courage to be silent and trust Him. Why silence can be the strongest proof of your destiny. You're sitting alone in a quiet room. Outside, the darkness of night covers everything with only the faint glow of a desk lamp or the moonlight spilling through the window. No one understands you. No one sees the silent wounds you're carrying inside. Words and actions from others have left their marks, and you feel betrayed, abandoned in this chaotic world. But chosen one, if you are hearing this now, know that at the very moment you feel most alone, God has sent you a sign, a whisper in your heart, a beam of light flashing through the dark, a moment that takes your breath away. This is Him speaking to you. Not with noise, not with storms or thunder, but with a silence full of power. Look back at those moments when you felt powerless, those times you wanted to shout, to explain, to prove yourself. And remember this, each time God was not silent because He had left you. On the contrary, He was preparing something greater, a turning point that only silence and patience could open the way for. Do you feel your heart beating faster now, that shiver running through you? It is the prompting God is sending to you. Everything you have hoped for, everything you have longed for, is being shaped in quietness. When you hear this message, recognize it. This is the sign He has sent to you, a sacred message meant only for the chosen one. And tonight, chosen one, you begin a 10-chapter journey. A journey where silence is not weakness but a weapon, where patience and trust will lead you to victory and vindication. Prepare your heart to uncover each chapter, each secret God longs to reveal. Because everything will change when you know how to listen, when you choose to be silent, and when you place your full trust in Him. Part 1. The Call of Silence. Chosen one. Right now, you are feeling lonelier than ever. Around you, the voices of others ring out like arrows aimed straight at your heart. Family, friends, colleagues, everyone seems to have turned their backs, questioning you, doubting you, even criticizing you, without ever understanding the real you. You want to shout, to argue, to prove that you're right. But God remains silent, and that is the first message He is sending you. Do not say a word. It may sound paradoxical, doesn't it? When everything around you is chaotic, when everyone is throwing words that hurt you, you are asked to remain silent. But chosen one, let me tell you, this silence is not cowardice. It is not giving up. Silence is strategy. It is a weapon God has placed in your hands. Imagine sitting alone in a dark room lit only by the soft glow of a candle or the moonlight streaming through the window. Every word from others crashes over you like waves threatening to drown you in a tide of emotion. You feel choked, your heart tightens, and it seems as if you might burst from pain that has never been shared. But look closely. Even in this silence, a power is forming, a power that only those who listen will recognize. God is watching you. He sees every tear that falls in the night, every restless moment when you lie awake, wondering why no one understands you. He sees your fear, your disappointment, and the moments when you wish you could run from it all. But He also knows what you have not yet realized. If you speak, if you react in the heat of emotion, you will destroy what He is preparing. Silence, chosen one, is a kind of power your enemy cannot understand. Satan has studied you closely, knows exactly what will make you angry, what will unsettle you. He sends insults, criticism, and slander to provoke you. But if you remain silent, if you do not let your emotions rule, you strike a powerful blow to the enemy without ever touching him. Look at Moses and the Red Sea, the Red. 2 million people panicking, Pharaoh and his army in pursuit the vast sea before them. Moses did not offer explanations, did not argue, did not seek anyone's approval. He stood there in silence and God fought for him. You, chosen one, are no different. Your silence is the way God prepares to open the path to victory in a way the world cannot understand. People may see silence as weakness, but chosen one, understand this silence now is power. Each time you restrain yourself, each time you do not react to provocation, you allow God to arrange everything behind the scenes. Those who have hurt you, those who doubt you, will witness miracles you did not interfere with. Picture a small candle in the dark. This is the sacred spark God has planted in your heart. If you rush to speak, you will extinguish it, ruining what He has prepared for months, even years. But if you are patient, if you keep the candle burning, the light will spread, and you will witness the power that silence brings. Some of you may be thinking, but I want to speak. I want to be understood. I want to explain. Chosen one, let me make it clear, God knows everything. He knows every thought, every pain, every unanswered question in your heart. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. When you remain silent, you are placing your trust in God, and that is what your enemy fears most. Joseph, as a young man, received dreams from God. He wanted to share them to prove he was right, to make others understand God's plan. But immediately he faced opposition, jealousy, and imprisonment, all because he had not yet learned to be silent at the right moment. Chosen one, the lesson for you is this: not every blessing needs to be spoken right away. Some messages, some victories must remain secret, held quietly in God's hands until the right time. And you, chosen one, face a similar challenge. Every time you want to react, every time you want to explain, remember, silence is not loss. It is preparation for a great miracle. It is the path leading you to victories no one can destroy. Listen to the whisper in your heart. That is God speaking to you. He says, "Be silent, my beloved. Do not let words disrupt my plan. Be patient and listen. Everything I have prepared for you will unfold at the perfect time." Do you feel that tightness in your chest? That is not fear. It is the moment you recognize the power of silence. With each passing second, you learn restraint. You learn to place complete trust in God. Every time you hold back, every time you do not respond, you focus your energy on the victory taking shape in the spiritual realm. Your silence now is not merely a reaction. It is a silent prayer, an invisible weapon your enemy cannot see, yet powerful enough to shake every plot against you. You are learning to become the chosen one, not as the world sees it, but as God intends, strong, patient, and full of power. And when you feel this chosen one, you will understand silence is not defeat, not surrender. It is proof of your faith, the first step toward victory, toward vindication, toward blessings only God can bestow. Take a deep breath, feel your heart stirring. This is the moment you begin to understand that unnecessary words only distract from miracles. And God whispers to you, "Be silent, my beloved. This is your weapon. This is your time. Chosen one, believe it. For in silence you are not alone. In silence, God is fighting for you." And from this moment, your 10-chapter journey begins. A journey where silence leads you to victory, patience leads you to vindication, and God unveils all the goodness you have never dared to dream. Part 2. Silence as a warrior. Chosen one, have you ever imagined that silence could be such a powerful force? Look at the life of Moses standing before the Red Sea, with 2 million Israelites in panic. Pharaoh and his mighty army closing in, and the vast sea stretching out before him like an endless wall. Moses stood there, silent, steadfast, not explaining, not arguing, not seeking anyone's approval. Do you understand this, chosen one? In that moment, Moses' silence was his weapon. Every word, every reaction could have ruined God's plan. And that is why God instructed Moses not to speak, not to react emotionally. Moses did not fight with words, he fought with faith and absolute silence, and God did the rest. You, chosen one, are standing before your own Red Sea. Around you, waves of misunderstanding, attacks, criticism, and betrayal crash against your soul with every beat. You feel surrounded, isolated, as if the world itself is against you. But listen carefully. Silence, chosen one, is the weapon God has placed in your hands. Every time you feel the urge to argue, to explain, to shout, in defense of your honor, stop. For if you speak now, you will destroy what God has prepared. Your enemy is waiting for you to react, and a single word at the wrong time can delay the blessing you have been waiting for. Imagine, chosen one, you are standing before a wall that seems impossible to cross. Like the sea before Moses, those around you may scream panicked out, but you remain firm, patient, silent. In that silence, God is working. In that silence, the miracle is being prepared step by step, detail by detail, until the time is right. Moses knew he could not fight with his own strength. He knew that God's intervention was the only way forward, and you, chosen one, are no different. Silence is not powerlessness. It is proof of absolute trust in God's plan. Every second you restrain yourself, every heartbeat you keep steady, is a step forward in a spiritual battle the world cannot see, but God and His angels witness. Remember, chosen one, your enemy does not fight with his own strength, but with the ability to lure you into reacting wrongly. He knows exactly your weaknesses. He knows when you are vulnerable, when you are hurting. Every provocation, every insult, every reminder of the past is an arrow aimed at your heart. But if you remain silent, if you do not let emotions control you, you will be undefeated. Silence becomes an invisible sword piercing every plot, every trap. Remember the scripture, the Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. Exodus 14:14. God will fight for you, and you hold your silence, not merely for peace, but to wield silence as a weapon. Chosen one, do you hear this whisper? That is God saying to you, be silent, and I will fight for you. Look carefully at your life, chosen one. How many times have your words made things worse? How many times have you reacted in emotion only to regret it later? Silence now is the difference between defeat and victory, between suffering and vindication, between confusion and miracles. Each time you choose not to respond, you are giving authority to God. Each time you remain silent in the face of provocation, you are paving the way for blessings and victories no one can destroy. Chosen one, feel this silence as a power, a mighty weapon that only the chosen can wield. Picture this. The sea before Moses begins to part the waves, forming a towering wall. Pharaoh's army panicking, and Moses simply stands, silent. If he had spoken, if he had acted emotionally, everything would have collapsed. But he did not, and the miracle happened. Chosen one, the same miracle is forming in your life. You only need to remain silent, patient, and place your complete trust in God. Do you feel your chest tighten? That is the moment you recognize the power of silence. It is when you see that divine strength surpasses personal emotion, surpasses the urge to argue or explain. Your silence. Chosen one is becoming living proof of absolute faith, of the power God grants, of the destiny held only in your hands. Take a deep breath, chosen one. Feel your heartbeat align with the rhythm of sacred silence. In this moment, you are no longer alone. You are standing on the battlefield, but your weapon is silence, an invisible sword, sharp, mighty, and indestructible. And when you realize this, chosen one, you will see that every reaction, every unnecessary word, only distracts from the miracle. Only in silence can the miracle unfold. Only when you trust God's plan will His power be revealed. And from this moment, you are stepping into a journey where silence leads you to victory, where patience leads you to vindication, where God unveils blessings beyond your imagination. Chosen one, believe in the power of silence. Be patient, stand firm. Feel every heartbeat resonate with the rhythm of destiny. For silence now is not merely protection, not merely defense. It is victory. It is power. It is the strongest proof of the destiny God has placed in your hands. Part 3, Chosen One Affirmed. Chosen One. Right now, as you sit there questioning your own worth, as every criticism and every doubtful glance seems to be directed at you, listen carefully. You are not alone, and you have never been abandoned. You may be looking in the mirror, seeing wounds, failures, moments of abandonment, and asking yourself, do I really matter? Am I truly chosen? Chosen one, I am here to tell you, you are the chosen one. No one else, only you. At this very moment, God has His eyes upon you. He knows every tear you have shed, every night you've lain awake, wondering why you were misunderstood. Do you hear me clearly? Only you truly know the trials you're walking through. But God has known everything all along. He has seen your faithfulness, your patience, and even the pain you keep hidden deep in your heart. And He speaks to you, chosen one. You are special. You are the one I have chosen. Maybe you haven't felt this for years. Maybe the world has kept drowning you in words, in comparisons, in skeptical stares. But chosen one, your worth is not defined by what others say. It is defined by Him, the one who created you, the one who planted within you a sacred mission. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a storm, the wind shaking everything around you. You feel helpless, lost, but in the midst of that storm, a brilliant golden light shines down on you. That is God confirming you are the chosen one. You have a mission. You have value. Do you feel the warmth of that light? That feeling is hope. It is comfort. It is the affirmation that you are not meaningless, you are not weak, and you have never been abandoned. He chose you not because you are perfect, but because you are faithful. He chose you not because you are always strong, but because you dare to believe even in your weakest moments. He chose you not to spare you from trials, but to teach you how to overcome them with faith, with patience, and with the mighty silence of trust. Let me tell you a secret, chosen one. Along your journey, there will be people who question your abilities, your intelligence, your endurance. They will doubt, even doubt you to your face, but none of their doubts can change what God has affirmed. You are the chosen one. Every criticism is only a test to help you see the power within you, to help you realize that your true worth does not come from others, but from God Himself. You may feel your throat tighten, your heart pounding as you hear this. That is the moment you begin to realize every worry, every doubt, every disappointment is just a shell being stripped away to reveal your light. Chosen one, you don't have to prove anything. Simply believe His words, remain silent when needed, and walk the path He has already prepared. Listen closely. God is whispering, you are chosen. You are valuable. You will prevail. Do not fear. Do not doubt. You are on the right path. These words are not merely comfort. They are the full affirmation of your sacred place in the great plan He has drawn for you. Right now, as you feel your heart stirring, as you sense hope flickering in the darkness, remember that you have been chosen. No one can take this from you. No criticism can erase the worth God has placed inside you. And from this moment on, stand firm, take a deep breath, and receive your sacred mission with full trust. Chosen one. Let your heart hear this. You are not abandoned. You are not meaningless. You are not alone. God has chosen you. He is guiding you, and everything you need will be arranged at the right time. Trust the silence, the power within you, and this holy affirmation. And when you fully feel the strength of this affirmation, chosen one, you will see every doubt, every fear, every feeling of abandonment fade away. In their place will be hope, comfort, and the unshakable sense that you are standing exactly where you are meant to be at the moment God has appointed. You are the chosen one. Remember this. Let it sink into every breath, every heartbeat, and prepare your heart to continue the journey. For the next chapters will reveal how you will wield silence like a warrior, and how divine power will lead you into victories no one ever expected. Part 4. The lesson from Joseph chosen. 1. Have you ever wondered why sometimes, even when you have dreams, prophecies, or powerful messages from God, things don't unfold as you hoped? Let me tell you the story of Joseph, a young man chosen by God, yet who made a mistake from which you must learn. Joseph, only 17 years old, received dreams from God, dreams in which he saw his brothers bowing before him, visions of the glorious future God had prepared for him. These dreams were not mere imagination. They were sacred messages, God's plan unfolding. But Joseph did something that, chosen one, you must learn to avoid. He did not remain silent. He shared those dreams too early, right there at breakfast, with his brothers before God had appointed the proper time. Do you feel that tightness in your chest? Just one hasty word, one moment of impulsiveness, placed Joseph in danger. He faced jealousy, betrayal, was sold into slavery, and endured many years of hardship that could have been avoided if he had listened and remained silent. Chosen one, look at your own life. How many times have you wanted to share a secret, to prove yourself right, to explain the mission God has placed within you? How many times have you felt the urge to speak immediately, only to regret it? Only to see the doors you were hoping for temporarily close? Joseph is living proof that speaking too soon, even with the best intentions, can disrupt God's plan. But listen closely. Joseph's story did not end in failure. He was patient. He learned to listen to God in silence, and ultimately, God fulfilled his plan in a way far more perfect than Joseph could have imagined. From a betrayed young man, Joseph became ruler of Egypt, saving an entire nation from famine. Everything, even the hardships, unfolded according to God's perfect plan. Chosen one, the lesson for you is clear. Learn restraint and listen to God before you speak. Every word spoken too early can bring consequences you cannot foresee. But silence, patience, and placing complete trust in God will open doors you never dreamed existed. Imagine the moment Joseph stood before his brothers, his heart tight, looking into eyes full of envy. If he had remained silent, if he had been patient, a gentler yet far more glorious path would have opened sooner. But Joseph, with youthful eagerness and innocent faith, acted hastily and endured 13 years of trials. Chosen one, do you feel that tightness in your chest? This is the warning. Every word you speak carries sacred weight. Here is what you must ingrain in your heart. Silence is not cowardice. It is not giving up. It is strategy. When you remain silent, you allow God to carry out his plan perfectly. When you listen and wait for the right moment, you will see that every word, every action will produce results far greater than you ever imagined. Chosen one, look into your own heart. When you feel the urge to speak, take a deep breath. Close your eyes and ask God, should I speak now? Let your heart hear his whisper. Silence will become proof of your faith, and in that silence, God's power will be revealed. Looking back at Joseph's story, you will see that restraint and listening lead to long-lasting victory. God does not want you to miss your dreams. your promises, or opportunities because of a moment of haste. Only when you learn to be silent, to be patient, and to trust will you truly walk the path of the chosen one. Let Joseph's story resonate in your heart. Chosen one, every time you feel the urge to speak, remember silence is strength. Silence is strategy. And in that silence, God will open doors, arrange miracles, and lead you to victories that no hasty word could ever destroy. Chosen one, are you ready to learn the power of silence, to listen and to trust? Remember Joseph's lesson. The right silence can save lives, open paths, and lead you to vindication and blessings. Everything God has prepared for you will unfold at the appointed time, and you will realize that silence is not merely waiting, it is victory. Part 5. The Jericho Strategy. Chosen one. Imagine standing before a mighty city, strong and seemingly impenetrable. Tall, thick walls, layers of stone, stacked high, fortified gates that no army has ever breached. This is Jericho, a symbol of the challenges in your life that seem impossible to overcome. Do you feel a sense of hesitation? Looking at those walls, you want to rush in to break them with your own strength, with words, with hasty actions. But chosen one, this is the moment to learn an important lesson: silence and patience. Remember the story of Joshua leading the Israelites. Day after day, they marched around the city in absolute silence, with only the sound of trumpets and faithful obedience to God's command. Everyone watching surely doubted. Those witnessing might have asked, "What are they doing? Why don't they act? Why just march around the city?" And you, chosen one, sometimes life is just like that. Difficulties, challenges, seemingly impossible obstacles will tempt you to react immediately. You want to explain, to prove yourself, to break down the walls with your own strength. But look at Joshua. Every silent step around the city, every breath in quiet trust was an act of complete faith in God's power. Nothing was by human strength. Everything was by God's hand. Do you feel the wonder, chosen one? A method the world calls meaningless carries infinite power. An action that seems passive is in fact the movement of divine authority. When you are patient, when you remain silent, God will arrange everything perfectly. Walls that seem unbreakable will fall not because you shout or react impulsively, but because of your faithfulness and patience. Picture each step you take around your own Jericho: financial struggles, fractured relationships, health or mental challenges. Each step, each breath is a sign that you are following God's plan. Others may doubt, they may mock, but remember, every silent step is building strength for the victory God will grant. Surprised yet chosen one. The miracle lies in patience. No shouting, no arguing, no showing of emotion is required. Simply be faithful. Simply march around your challenge. God will wield His power to make the way, and at the appointed time, walls that seemed impenetrable will collapse. Imagine the seventh day. Finally, Joshua commands the Israelites to shout, and the walls of Jericho fall before them. Victory was predetermined, but it required silence and patience. Chosen one. God's power is not in human strength, but in your ability to pause, to be patient, to listen. Look back at your own life, chosen one. How many times have you rushed, acted on impulse, tried to prove yourself only to see disorder, failure, or delay? Learn the lesson from Jericho. Victory does not come from haste, but from faithfulness and patience. When you are silent, when you move in step with God, everything will be arranged perfectly. Let this moment sink deep into your heart, chosen one. As you march around your own Jericho in silence and absolute patience, God's power is at work. Those who doubt the seemingly impossible challenges, the walls you thought you could never overcome, all are gradually fading before the unseen but ever-present divine power. Surprised yet chosen one. The world may not understand, but God understands fully. These quiet steps, these patient days, are proof of absolute faith opportunities for divine power to manifest. And when the time comes, you will witness miracles beyond imagination, realizing that every moment of silence, every act of patience is a reward for your faithfulness. Chosen one, trust in this Jericho strategy. Walk in silence, be patient, and let God's power guide you. Every wall will fall, every challenge will be overcome. Every blessing God has prepared for you will appear at the right time, and you will see that silence, patience, and faithfulness are the proof of His power and greatness in your life. Part 6. Facing the enemy. Chosen one. Your life is not only filled with external challenges, it also holds the presence of the closest enemies. Sometimes they are family members, co-workers, or people you once thought you could trust. They don't understand the sacred mission God has placed in your heart, and so knowingly or unknowingly, they become instruments of the testing you must endure. Do you feel the anxiety rising when their words, their glances, their actions wound you? You want to respond immediately. You want to defend, to explain, to protect your honor and your truth. But chosen one, pause. God is sending you an important message. These people are not your real enemies. They are only tools to test your patience and your faithfulness. Picture a stressful workday. A co-worker speaks words that wound you, interrupts your ideas, even spreads false rumors. You feel your chest tighten, your blood heat, ready to react. But take a deep breath, chosen one. In that very moment, God is reminding you that silence is your greatest weapon. Every word you hold back, every reaction you restrain is a step forward in a battle unseen by the world but witnessed by God and His angels. Family, the people you once relied on for safety, can sometimes become the source of your deepest pain. They do not understand the decisions you must make. They judge you based on their limited knowledge. Chosen one, feeling betrayed under your own roof is frightening, isn't it? But let God lead. When you do not react, when you remain silent, you are proving that your faith does not rest on emotions or on human approval, but on His power and His plan. Look into the eyes of friends, co-workers, or family, those who anger you, whose words make you want to cry or explode. God is telling you they are instruments, not enemies. They are being used to refine you, to teach you the power of silence, to show you that real power does not come from words or hot reactions, but from patience and trust in Him. Do you feel that tightness, chosen one? This is the moment you realize every test from others, every provocation is an opportunity to practice your sacred strategy. When you stay silent, you are not controlled by emotion. You are not dragged into battles you were never meant to fight. Instead, you are preparing for the great victory God has arranged for you. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a storm of words and actions meant to provoke you. People are shouting, blaming, putting you in difficult positions. You feel the pressure pressing in. But remember, chosen one, your power is in your silence. Every time you do not respond, you hand control over to God. Every time you restrain yourself, God is preparing the path, arranging miracles and dismantling schemes you cannot see. The people around you, whether intentionally or not, are part of the divine plan. They are tests, opportunities for you to practice restraint, to understand that silence is power, and to prove that you are truly the chosen one. When you recognize this, anxiety will give way to peace. When you understand that you are not alone, that every trial has a purpose, your heart will quiet and you will see divine power at work. Chosen one. Look back at all the times you wanted to react, the times you felt wounded by someone's words or actions. Recognize that every moment was an opportunity to train your strategy of silence, to learn how to place your complete trust in God. And when you remain silent, you are opening the way for miracles to unfold. You are at the center of a hidden battle, chosen one. The true enemy is not the people around you, but the emotions within you that want to explode. Every time you restrain yourself, every time you stay calm, you are stepping forward on the path God has prepared, proving that you understand and follow His sacred plan. Let this moment sink deep into your heart, chosen one. Everyone around you, family, co-workers, friends, are instruments of testing. And when you recognize that, you will see that silence is not only defense, but strength, strategy, and the path to peace and victory. And when you feel the full power of this chosen one, you will realize that true power rises above every word, every action, every scheme. When you are patient, when you are silent, God will intervene, open the way, and bring you to blessings you never imagined. Part 7. The Enemy's Trap. Chosen one. Be alert and listen carefully. On the journey God has set before you, not every trial will be obvious, and not every danger appears in the light. There are hidden, subtle traps set only to make you fail without realizing it. And the most dangerous of all are the traps hidden within your own words. Do you feel that shiver, yet picture a moment when someone provokes you? A word, a glance, an action, all pressing on your emotions. In that instant, if you do not restrain yourself, if you respond with anger or self-defense, you will step right into the trap the enemy has laid long ago. One word spoken at the wrong time can delay your blessing, destroy the opportunity God has prepared for you. The enemy's trap is not always aggressive or obvious. It may be a coworker gently saying something that irritates you, a friend you thought you could trust bringing up a past you tried to forget, even a family member unintentionally creating misunderstanding. Just one moment of haste, one careless word, and you hand control over to the enemy. Chosen one, remember, the enemy doesn't need to destroy you directly. He only needs you to react at the wrong moment. He knows your weaknesses, he knows how to provoke, and he waits for the instant you lose your composure. But you can win if you recognize the trap and learn self-control. Every time you hold back, every time you remain silent, you break his plan. You keep hold of the power God has given you. Imagine the picture of a carefully set trap. The enemy has prepared it long before, hiding in the shadows, watching you step closer. Every word you speak, every reaction you make, could touch the invisible string and cause you to stumble. Do you feel that shiver, chosen one? That is the warning you must heed. Silence and restraint are the only way to avoid the trap. Look back at Joseph, chosen one. He shared his dreams too soon and immediately faced opposition, jealousy, and was sold into slavery. The trap didn't appear when he was in obvious danger, but in the moment of his eagerness to prove himself right. One hasty word, one moment of unguarded excitement, sent him into trials he might have avoided. And now look at your own life. How many times have you felt the urge to speak right away? How many times have you wanted to prove, explain, or defend yourself? Just one moment of lost control, and you've given power to the enemy, delaying your blessing, slowing your progress, making your efforts seem meaningless. Chosen one. Listen to God's whisper. Be silent. Restrain yourself. Every hasty word can slow what I have prepared for you. When you recognize the trap, when you learn to control yourself, you not only protect yourself, but also preserve the sacred rhythm God has set for you. Picture the power you can hold, the power of silence. Every time you hold back, every time you don't react emotionally, you are controlling the situation, dismantling the enemy's strategy. You are proving that you are chosen, that you are not ruled by the world, and that you know how to cooperate with God's power. Feel the shiver, yet chosen one. That is the realization that the enemy may be cunning, but you can be wiser if you are patient and faithful. Feel your heartbeat, take a deep breath, and make the decision. No hasty word will destroy God's plan for your life. Every moment you stay silent is a powerful declaration. I put my full trust in you. I will not be deceived by the trap. I will not be ruled by emotion. Chosen one. When you understand this, anxiety will give way to resolve. Your inner strength will rise, and your faith in God's power will grow stronger than ever. Let this moment be engraved in your heart. The enemy's trap is not something to fear. What you need is to recognize it, to restrain yourself, and to hold your silence. When you do, God will intervene, open the way, and you will see His power move more mightily than anything you've ever experienced. Chosen one. Remember, silence is power, restraint is strategy, and recognizing the trap is the first step to victory. When you learn this, you will stand firm against every scheme, every trial, and every provocation, for God is fighting for you. Part 8. The 3 Keys to Sacred Silence. Chosen one. If you have followed this journey so far, you will have realized that silence is not merely a choice, but a power, a sacred strategy that God has given to the chosen. But how do you truly master silence? How do you resist the temptation of provocation, surging emotions, and worldly pressures? Let me show you the 3 sacred keys. The first key, absolute patience. Look at Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel knew that if he spoke, if he acted under the pressure of those around him, his life would be at risk and God's plan would be disrupted. But Daniel was patient, faithful, silent, and placed his complete trust in God's power. When you learn the lesson of patience, as Daniel did, chosen one, you will see that no temptation, no provocation can break the stability of your soul. Patience is the first foundation, the first step for divine power to operate in your life. The second key, listening to God's guidance. Joseph, do you remember his story of speaking too soon? But through years of hardship, Joseph learned to listen to God, to observe, to understand that every word must come from the right timing and sacred purpose. Chosen one, you are the same. When you learn to listen to God, your heart will recognize when to speak, when to remain silent, and when the moment has come for His power to reveal itself. Silence without listening is mere timidity, but silence guided by God is strength. The third key, absolute faith. Faith is the glue that keeps you standing firm in the storm. Daniel in the lion's den believed God would protect him. Joseph believed that even when sold into slavery and imprisoned, God had a plan for him. Chosen one, absolute faith in God's plan turns silence into a weapon. Every moment you restrain yourself, every time you do not react emotionally, is proof of your faith. And in that faith you will witness God's power unfold in ways you never imagined. Imagine, chosen one, standing amidst challenges that seem impossible, anger, frustration, pain, all urging you to speak. But remember these 3 keys. Take a deep breath, listen, trust, and in that moment you feel a miraculous power rise within. I can do this, I can do this. Your heart calms, you feel divine guidance leading you, and you realize that silence is the path to victory. These 3 keys are not just theory, they are action, practice, a rhythm to be applied daily. When you are patient, when you listen to God, and when you place full trust in His power, you will see that unnecessary words only distract from the sacred plan. Every provocation becomes an opportunity to strengthen your inner power. Chosen one, remember you do not need to do this alone. These 3 keys are the path, but God is always with you, guiding, strengthening, and giving you the power to maintain silence in every situation. When you move in step with God, you will realize that silence is no longer a burden, but power, a weapon proof of your faithfulness. And when you apply these 3 keys, chosen one, you will feel calm, confident, and full of hope. Every challenge that arises, you will know how to remain composed. Every temptation to speak, you will remind yourself, I can do this. I am the chosen one. I have God's power. Let this reminder sink deep into your heart. Patience, listening, faith. The 3 keys to sacred silence. When you practice them, you not only stand firm against every challenge, but you step into the journey of the chosen, where God's power is revealed, miracles happen, and you witness the impossible. Chosen one. Now take a deep breath, feel every heartbeat, and trust that you can master silence. This is a vital step on the path leading you to victory, to vindication, and to the blessings God has long prepared for you. Part 9. Preparing the soul chosen one. Now, having passed through trials, traps, and having learned to remain silent under God's guidance, another crucial step awaits you: inner preparation. This is the moment your soul needs to be trained to develop discernment, the ability to recognize what comes from God, what comes from the enemy, what is a test and what is a miracle about to unfold. Imagine standing on the banks of a sacred river. The water flows gently, golden light filters through the leaves, a soft breeze brushes your face, and you feel peace spreading with every breath. Chosen one, this is the state of mind you need to reach, calm, still, and completely focused on the whisper of God. In recent days, you have learned patience, silence, and absolute trust. But now God invites you to go deeper, to listen to Him in every moment, not only when challenges appear, but also when peace is present. Listening is not with the ears, but with the heart and soul. When you learn to recognize divine guidance, you will see that all previous traps were merely exercises to refine your discernment. Chosen one, do you feel your heart lighten? That sense of peace is the sign that your soul is being prepared. Every time you choose silence, every time you do not react emotionally, you are creating space for God to intervene. That space is where divine power begins to arrange everything, preparing you to step into glory. Imagine your soul as a precious crystal. Each moment you restrain your emotions, each time you remain silent, the crystal shines brighter, purer. Every trial, every temptation is a step in polishing it so that it radiates even more. Chosen one, you are being refined, prepared to receive the blessings God has already set in place. Do not fear the moments of solitude, the times you feel abandoned or misunderstood. They are part of the preparation process. God wants you to understand that when you are still and listening, you are placing your soul in His hands, and He will protect you, guide you, and prepare everything for the miracle about to come. Can you feel the warmth, chosen one? That is the feeling of being protected, shielded by God's power. It brings peace and also serves as proof that your soul is ready for greatness. Every worry, every pressure, every provocation from the enemy will no longer unsettle you, because you have learned to discern what is from God, what is a test, and what is a miracle soon to manifest. Imagine each breath as a sacred bell echoing through the space of your soul. Every breath is an opportunity to synchronize with God's rhythm. When you are still, when you focus on every inhale and exhale, you are spiritually preparing, strengthening your divine awareness, and creating space for God to act perfectly. Chosen one, now you are ready. You have passed through trials, you have learned to remain silent, you have practiced the 3 sacred keys. Your soul shines pure and strong. Everything is being prepared for the final victory. Feel the overflowing peace in your heart. Feel the divine power surrounding you, and recognize that every blessing, every good thing God promised is approaching. Let this moment sink into every heartbeat. Chosen one, the feeling of peace, the sense of protection, the awareness of blessings to come, all are proof that you are on the right path, and that God is always with you, guiding, protecting, and preparing every miraculous thing. Chosen one, take a deep breath, close your eyes and listen. Every moment of silence, every instant focused on your soul, brings you closer to victory, to vindication, to the glory God has prepared for you. This is the moment your soul is fully prepared, ready for the final chapter, where everything you have been waiting for will be revealed in absolute power and blessing. Part 10. Victory through silence. Chosen one. Now you have passed through every trial, every trap, every day of patience and silence. You have learned to remain calm in the face of provocation, applied the 3 sacred keys, and prepared your soul for greatness. And now the moment you have long awaited has arrived, victory through silence. Imagine standing on a battlefield, not one of weapons or gunfire, but the battlefield of life, encompassing every challenge you have ever faced. Before you, all difficulties, all pain, all misunderstandings have been overcome. Walls that once seemed unbreakable, like the Red Sea, like Jericho, now collapse, opening the path to blessings and glory that God has promised. Amazing, isn't it, chosen one? Nothing came from words, nothing from hasty action, but from the silence you faithfully held throughout the journey. Every time you held back, every time you did not react emotionally, you handed authority to God, and He did not fail. Blessings, victory, vindication, all were granted to you perfectly at the appointed time. Feel this moment, chosen one, that tightness in your chest. It is no longer pain, but overflowing joy. You have been affirmed, you are chosen. Doubts about your worth have vanished. Worries about those around you have disappeared. Fear of challenges is gone. You stand firm, strong, and full of power, for God has used your silence as a tool to bring forth victory. Look back at every step on this journey. From the first whisper, "Do not speak," to learning to remain silent before every trap and trial, from Joseph's story to Jericho, from Daniel to the 3 sacred keys, everything converges on one truth. Victory does not come from your strength or words, but from God's power working through your patience and silence. Picture every wall, every barrier in your life. Now all have fallen. Those who doubted you, those who provoked you, will witness the miracle. No more anger, no more haste, only peace and divine power filling your life. Chosen one. Do you feel that tightness in your chest? This is the moment you realize that all past hardships were steps leading to glory. Look deep into your heart, chosen one. The joy, the sense of protection, the awareness that you have walked the right path, all are proof that you are truly chosen. God has witnessed every step, every silent moment, every act of patience, and He has done what you never imagined. He has brought complete victory, granted blessings, and shown that your faith and silence have never been in vain. Amazing, isn't it, chosen one? Joy overflows as you realize that everything you endured, every pain, every trial led you to this moment, the moment of victory through silence. Every hasty word, every temptation to react impulsively has been replaced by the divine power you now hold. Let this moment sink deep into your heart. Victory through silence is not only the end of the journey, but proof that you have matured, that you have learned to trust, to be patient, and to follow God's plan. You are no longer one being tested, but one victorious, prepared to receive all the blessings and glory God has long set aside for you. Chosen one, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and feel. Can you hear it? God's whisper echoes through your soul. You are chosen, you have been faithful, you have been patient. This is your victory. Receive the blessings I have prepared for you. And when you open your eyes, look around, you will see the change clearly. Every barrier, every doubt, every scheme has been broken. You stand firm, joyful, and affirmed. Chosen one, this is the moment you understand that true power lies in silence, in faith, and in complete obedience to God. Remember, this silence, patience, and full trust are the keys to victory. And now you have stepped into the moment where everything you have longed for, vindication, blessings, power, and joy, becomes reality. Chosen one. You are the chosen. Affirmation and peace. Chosen one. Imagine standing in a sacred space, gentle golden light surrounding you, radiating from all directions as if embracing you in God's arms. This space holds no chaotic sounds of the world, only peace, stillness, and an invisible but fully present power. In this moment, take a deep breath and feel you are not forgotten. Every step, every tear, every silent moment has been remembered and cherished by God. He is saying to you, you are not forgotten, you are chosen. Do you hear it clearly? Chosen one, doubts are gone, loneliness is gone. You are standing within the embrace of divine power, protected and guided. Every trial you have endured, every moment of restraint has become proof of your faithfulness and absolute trust. Let that gentle golden light fill your heart, dissolving every worry, every sense of abandonment or misunderstanding. Peace is coming, chosen one. This feeling is not temporary. It is affirmation that you are on the right path and that every good thing God has promised will soon manifest. And hear this clearly. Your silence is your victory. Trust God's timing. Every moment you remain silent, every time you restrain your emotions, every time you trust God instead of acting hastily, all are steps leading to victory, to vindication, to blessings. Silence is not weakness. It is power, proof of God's authority working through your life. Chosen one. Now stand firm. Feel the peace spreading throughout your soul. You have been affirmed, you have been chosen, and you are stepping into the moment where every good thing will come to fruition. If you feel this message, share this hope and power with others. Comment, amen, subscribe, and share this message with another chosen one you know. For in sharing the light, you become a tool to guide others to divine power and peace. Chosen one. Remember, you are not forgotten. You are chosen. Your silence is your victory. And God's timing is always perfect. Trust it and continue walking in the light and peace He has given you.